communicate on a computer network, it needs to have an address. On an Ethernet network or Ethernet local area network, there are two types of addresses. There are layer 3 addresses and layer 2 addresses. A layer 3 address is either an IPv4 address or an IPv6 address, and a layer 2 address is a MAC address. There are some differences in the addresses. An IPv4 or IPv6 address is a logical address that is assigned by the administrator. In other words, the administrator chooses the network address range for the network. In this network, the network administrator probably configured the wireless gateway with a 192.168.0 network address range. So all of the devices have a layer 3 address in the 192.168.0 address range. IPv4 addresses are 32-bit addresses in dotted decimal notation, whereas an IPv6 address is a 128-bit address in colon-separated hexadecimal notation. A MAC address is a 48-bit address in hexadecimal, dotted or dashed or colon-separated notation. You can see the MAC address here in a dash notation and here in a dot notation. In this network, we have an IPv4 192.168.0.108 host address here, and it's a 192.168.0 network. Now this device, this laptop, also has an IPv6 link local address, so it has two types of layer 3 addresses. Most devices on a computer network today are capable of having both IPv4 and IPv6 addresses. In some situations, the IPv6 protocol needs to be turned on or enabled for this to be the case. Notice that these devices also have MAC addresses. A MAC address is known as a physical address or burned-in address, in that the manufacturer of the network adapter or NIC, network interface card, has assigned the address to the NIC physically. This is a unique address that identifies this particular device. It is still possible to change this address or spoof the address to make it appear as a different device. One of the roles of a CyberOps analyst is to correctly identify which device sent the communication and whether or not the device was impersonated by someone from another computer.